Alright, so next topic we will be talking about the 7 excellent ways on how to get new customer via online. Because I heard a lot of Andy, they already used to do physically do this new customer via offline. Okay, so we want to target to teach them how to use online to get or to find new customer. Okay, so at the end of this sessions, we are hoping that at least, the participant will be able to explain at least 2 simple mistakes, because we understand that there's a few mistakes that sometimes we will accidentally do without us aware, or sometimes we don't know whether is that workable or not. So here we can actually share some experience for our NEs. Okay, so explain at least 2 simple mistakes so that they are aware. Then 2 excellent ways on how to get new customer. So this is the topic for 2nd week. So whoever is sharing this topic on 2nd week, right, you can actually start to let them to think about it. Okay, and then after that on the spot, you can actually ask them to try post something or try to engage approach to new customer. So here what we can start is that you can ask them to take a moment to think about it. So what is the hardest thing about finding customer? Now, because when we're talking about online, right, then you can actually ask them, what is the hardest thing about finding customer online? We ask them to share, okay, and then ask them to explain why they feel so very difficult to find. Okay, because for a lot of people, right, finding client or getting a customers, right, is very difficult because it's limited. You don't know whether that person is interested or not, and you don't know that person, and you cannot see face to face. There's a lot of factors and might make your ME feel like, oh, they are worried that this thing and that thing. So you get them to answer you, and then from there slowly you find the most common one, and then you can actually brief them on how can they get rid of this feeling. Okay, so for your information, finding customer is one of the most difficult challenges, especially during this musim PKP. Yeah, I understand. Probably some people they lose job, they don't have job and things like that. But probably they muscle and then they just wait for a while and then don't know what to do, and they are still blurred. And then because at the same time they still want to find customers, so they don't know what to do yet. So here you can actually tell them, okay, what they can start to do. So you can probably explain them that because customer, they won't automatically come to us. We need to approach them by posting or at least provide a platform, because nowadays musim PKP, a lot of people staying at home. I hope a lot of people staying at home now. Okay. So because of that, a lot of us, right, will be like, yeah, now we cannot go out, because if you go out, right, at least you got the chance of tangkap orang itu, jangan bagi dia lari. Kan? That's how we do sales if we go outside, when we do offline. But if you do online, orang itu tak nak reply you. They can choose to block you or ignore you. Very susah nak tangkap mereka. Okay, so all these things. So that's why this NE, right, they really need to start to adapt to it and find a way on how to get all these new people. So here, let me share with you the 5 simple mistakes to avoid when looking for customer needs. Okay. So number 1, concentrating on only one kind of customer. Okay. 2, accepting vague answer. Meaning to say tak clear punya. Okay. You just accept tak clear punya answer as enough, or you answer something that I don't understand, but then I just like, oh, okay lah, itu sahaja. Then number 3, relying on your memory alone. 4, repeatedly relying on your A-list, meaning to say your top customer list lah. Macam kawan baik punya customer list. And then last but not least is asking for solution instead of uncovering the needs. Okay, so we will go through with it one by one. So point number 1, you only concentrate on one kind of customer. I'm not sure all newbie salesperson macam mana, but back to when I try my first time try do sales, because I I think when I was like age 14. Okay, at age 14, I already go do sales already. So when my age 14, right, I joined one company called some supplement company. Okay, and then when I joined, right, then I was like, yeah, mana cari orang ah. So I purposely I think, okay, maybe people who are sick. So I go look for people who are sick, and then I concentrate people who are sick only. Okay, but actually, in fact, that's not really the correct method. So here, a speaker, you can actually ask your NE. When you start look for prospect, right? Okay, do you focus on just one kind of customer? You ask them, but probably they'll answer you yes, or they'll answer you no. Okay, so because at the start of any insight initiative, right, you need to ask yourself who must be satisfied for our products to be a success. You say who will satisfy with our products, or someone, or you might probably be thinking what kind of customer, if they buy, then if I promote to them, then they will buy. Okay, so instead of just thinking about this, right, you can actually start to consider all the different customer. For example, it depends. Let me think of one product. Now recently, Penapis Udara. Okay, probably you are thinking about family, right? Okay, family, probably most of them staying at home. So you focus on them. But you can actually think of people who are selling perabot, okay, selling furnitures. Why? Why selling furnitures? Because furnitures, I'm not sure you guys know or not, because furnitures, right, they have this a layer of formaldehyde, a chemical, gas formaldehyde. Okay, actually, when you smell it, it smells like a new furniture smell. But actually, that smell, right, it's a formaldehyde gas. And this gas is actually very dangerous if we smell too much. So, in fact, air purifier can actually tapis all these gases and things like that. So why I say perabot kedai is because we can actually try to focus on people who are selling furniture. They can put their penapis udara in their kedai perabot. Okay? Something like that. Instead of just focusing on just one kind of customer, we can actually find a way to think who else might have need these products. Okay, so you can actually, speaker, you can share your experience after you engage different kind of customer, right? Then apa jadi? Okay, you can make a comparison now, like when you used to sell like to just one kind of customer, and when you start sell to different kind of customer. So what are the differences? Maybe you can share experience. I don't know. Probably you find it that if you share to different customer, the way you handle them also differently, and from there you can learn different experience. So I'm not too sure. Okay, so that's number one. Point number two, accepting vague answer as sufficient. Meaning to say, because sometimes when customer they answer your questions, right, they answer very unclear, don't know whether yes or no. They give you a very middle, very gray line punya answer. So seller or NE, they have to be very responsible to ask customer again until they really understand what customer trying to deliver. Because sometimes maybe like newbie, like me, I think I'm still considered newbie to be honest. So if you ask me, right, then I'll probably like, okay, I'll probably answer like that. So that's why, speaker, you really need to tell them that if you don't understand what customer is talking about, you don't accept unclear answer. You must ask them for further, more clear punya answer. Okay. So for example, ask why. Okay, instead of okay, ask them why or how. Just ask them to ask customer to give example so that you understand the whole thing. Because at least if you understand the whole situation, right, at least NE will know, oh, okay, so you're actually having this kind of issue. You have these needs. So I actually have a solution. Would you want to consider? Okay. So that's point number two. Point number three is that the mistake that most of us will do is that relying on our memory alone. Okay, so because one product, right, a lot of USP. Yeah, you remember a lot of those main points. But if we just depend on our memory and then we just like in a way we just say it based on how we have out, then customer will probably know that, oh, that one is just for your knowledge, for your information sahaja, instead of just like understand what customer needs. So it's better to communicate with customer, right? Actually encourage NE to record down their own voice, okay, record their own voice, and then listen back how they speak, and from there, how they can adjust. But this one can practice lah, between NEs or NM and NEs. They can actually do some practice like this. One act as customer, one act as salesperson. For people that still newbie and then they don't know how to really initiate conversation. Okay. Next, the fourth simple mistake to avoid is that a lot of some of the NE, right, probably they don't have any sales experience, so they tend to just share to be a customer or what are the product USP, what are the product features and things like that. Okay, so actually these are some kind of some practice that people NEs need to start doing it. How to ask proper questions, or what to target or what to know. Okay, because customer don't just buy products to just own them. Okay, because just because they have all this benefit doesn't mean that they just want to buy it. All right. So as you plan what questions to ask the customer, focus not on the features and the specification. Okay, but focus on the application and how it benefits our customer. And last but not least, for the fifth simple mistake to avoid when looking for customer needs is that stop repeatedly relying on your A-list. Okay, I understand that because a lot of testimonials, a lot of those comments are mostly from our existing customer that use the product for very long time. But sometimes, if you ask for, let's say that if you're looking for feedbacks, okay, feedback or comments, you can actually look for people that not so frequently look for you, or in a way you can call them as cold prospect. You can actually look for cold prospect. From there, you'll be probably you at least know about the big reason why they are not buying from you. Okay. So from there, you actually will know that, oh, so this is the reason why, because you don't buy. Then from there, you can actually gain some experience on, I know a lot of people already buy lah, so you probably neglect the cold prospect. But however, if you engage those cold prospect again, and as you talk to them, when you find out, you can actually know how to handle them even properly. Okay, so sometimes customers who are not buying much from you today can be your best source of growth, meaning to say they can actually teach you something that probably you wouldn't realize most of the time, but at the same time, you actually learn something from them, especially the reason why they don't buy or what are the concerns they are having. Okay, but of course, you need to slowly build some relationship before they really can talk to you, right? So, up next, I'm going to show you the 7 excellent ways on how to get new customer. Okay, so number 1, identify your ideal clients, and then discover where your customer lives. Then know your business inside out. Position yourself as the answer. Try direct response marketing. Build partnership and follow up. When I say follow up, meaning you say after sales follow up, by the way. So number 1, identify your ideal clients. First thing first, we need to have a crystal clear picture. You need to know who are you targeting. Earlier on, I already mentioned, don't just focus on one kind of customer, right? Yeah. So you need to have a very clear picture on who are you targeting, or what kind of age group, or what kind of people, a family, or kedai, or corporate or business, things like that. And then think about what make those type of people happy, sad, scared, basically all their emotions and then think about how you can make their life live a little easier. Okay, so you can start asking all these questions and then think about it. Okay, if I want to target this group of person, so try to imagine in this situation, in this meantime, so what do they need most? Okay, you should just narrow down the focus of your ideal clients, but try to avoid making too broad target. Okay, if your target too broad, right, and then you will be like here and there, here and there, here and there, and then your mind will be like, wow, too much things already, so you will lose focus. So we want to focus one by one to do. Okay, and then after that, if you do like that, it's easier for you to look for customer when you know the type of consumer you see, because you're already putting in categories and ways how to handle them, how to talk to them. Because for different kind of customer, you have different sales pitch. Ways of approach also different. Right? So that's point number one. So point number two, discover where your customer live. Meaning to say, because each channel, right? I'm talking about social media. So each channel, they attracts a particular crowd. Just like what I mentioned from the first week in your slide 2. Okay. If you want to know your audience fully, right, you need to know, okay, what age group are you targeting? And then from there, because you know what age group is using more frequent in certain social media, it's easy for you to know where to target. Okay. So with your targeted customer in mind, right, it are easy to identify those spaces where they are likely to be found. For example, people are youngster, you can find it from TikTok. People are middle-aged or around working adults, you can find it from Facebook. Okay, and then if you want to look for more professional punya orang, okay, you can go try LinkedIn. Okay, so from there you discover where your customer. Where you can get your customer, basically. Then next, number 3, you need to know your business inside out. Basically, this one is very straightforward. You need to really understand how your industry works, know your market, do some research, understand the product USP and how does it benefits to our customer and things like that. Okay, so you probably can give some example. What is the effect if you don't know anything and then you try go and pitch customer? So you can actually show the differences. So speaker can actually share experience over this point. And then position yourself as the answer. Okay, meaning to say, whatever the content that you create or whatever how you post yourself, okay, your position. If people look at you for quite some time, then they'll know that, oh, if I have anything, I know where to look for. So meaning to say, in a way, you actually provide yourself a certain value. And you can actually let people think that you are actually like a Wikipedia. You got the content. If they go to you and they tell you, if they ask you about some issues they are facing, and then you're able to give them answer, yeah. Although they don't buy, but at least you got the opportunity to expose to them or to pitch them again. Okay, so position yourself is the answer. So point number 5 is to try direct response marketing. Meaning to say, one of your best bets for reaching out or touching customer is use the tactic to encourage them to complete a specific action. For example, you can ask them to do a survey form. Okay, or you can ask them after they do a survey form, right? Then you can say, okay, once you complete this survey form, you got a small free gift, for example. Okay, so you can actually try something like that, and from there gather more information instead of just simply go, just go around and then try to post pitch all the content message. I mean, that you also need to do. Okay, but at the same time, you can also try direct response marketing, meaning to say, after you ask them to read this, and then you ask them to fill out the survey form, and then from there you get some information. Then after that, you can follow up with them after they view all the content that you have posting. Then what are how they feel? Okay, because not just because those people, right? They don't just might be your customer. They probably will give you some comments on how you can improve your content at the same time also. Okay, so you can try and think about this direct response marketing lah. And the next point is build partnership. Okay, build partnership is the part where I like the most. Why? Because I'm a very people kind of person, and I like to nurture relationships. Meaning to say, I like to have a good relationship with people, basically. Don't get me wrong, in a good way. Okay, so building partnership is very important, especially in sales. Okay, why? Because your customer today, your customer might be your tomorrow business partner. Okay, so you can actually find your customer, talk to your customer, especially for existing customer. You can actually find, talk to them, see whether if there's any referrals. If there's no referral, then it's fine. You can actually join any networking organized by your customer. Then from there, you can find new customers also. Or you can actually turn your customer into one of your business partner, probably your NP lah. Okay? And then from there, you can just create even a larger group. Okay? And last but not least is after sales follow-up. Meaning to say, because after all you run your efforts and then you bring all the business, you closing all the sales and things like that, right? And then sometimes, most of the time, people tend to forget just to, like that only, and then we end already. We actually don't want to leave our customer without doing any follow-up. So why is it important, so important that we do follow-up? I'm pretty sure that previously we actually had this after sales follow-up topic. So if you forgot, you can actually go back to that slide and go and take a look. Okay, so remember to set follow-up tasks and execute your plan. So what should you do? First thing first, you actually will be able to know what are the feedbacks after they use your products. Are they satisfied or not? Secondly, if they are satisfied, if they are happy, you probably might get a second sales. Or you can actually get a referrals from them. Okay, and then last but not least, if they, let's say if your relationship managed to build until like a kawan-kawan baseline, right? Then you probably can actually ask them, oh, would you want to join since you lose job and then you need to feed the family? Would you want to join us in this business? Okay, you got someone to join in you can increase your recruitment block. So after sales follow-up, I would say, please do it. Okay, so in conclusion, don't find customer for your products. Find products for your customer. Okay, so I believe these points, most of us are already familiar, just that we need to start practicing. So here, this is 2 recap questions. So during the recap questions, right, speaker, you can actually talk to NE and then ask them to discuss what are the 2 simple mistakes usually they will make when they look for customer need. And then after that, they can actually ask them to share. Apart from the 7 ways, right, what else? Do they have any other ways to get new customer or not? Okay, that's all for the second big picture topic.